What did I do to deserve it? I got to follow Abe, first of all, which is like going from Frank Sinatra to I don't know who. And then you got a Cub passing a Cardinal.
That's the best
Was it
part of
something
all.
I did to you guys?
No, that's the absolute best part of all. We have a Major League Cardinal is going to be in Des Moines playing with the Iowa Cubs. So we'll have more details on that coming up.
Really?
For the next couple of days. So you'll be in a good mood for that. So
okay. And Abe, by the way, Stairway to Heaven.
He can do that one too.
I'll bet he can. He can do anything. I've known Abe for a long, very talented man. I've known him for a long time. Very talented man. Love the guy. He's terrific.
Speaking of talent, we're talking about talent in the world of sports right now. Cotlar, so what do we have going on?
It was interesting because I usually bring like a whole ton of notes.
Yeah.
Got halfway here and realized, oops, I didn't bring them. So that's okay. We're going to use this today.
All right, let's do it.
And the thing is, I was talking to Phil Rogers, who long time with the Chicago Tribune for years, and then he's actually back with them now, but he also is an insider for MLB Network. And I don't know if you've seen this. You'll see it on E60 this weekend. Sammy Sosa did an interview with Jeremy Schaap.
Oh, really?
And Sammy Sosa still denies ever using performance-enhancing drugs.
You gotta be kidding.
No, he still does. He wants that. Now, what he says, it's interesting in this interview because he says, well, I never tested positive.
No, that's just it. Never tested positive.
He never tested. They didn't have testing back then. And that's the thing that Phil brought up. Says they didn't test back then. So, of course, he didn't test positive.
That's a good answer.
But here's the question we really pose. And I'm going to ask you this because you're a Chicago Cub fan, okay? The Cardinals now have come around now, and they embrace McGuire. After what happened with him, with Leandro. All right, they embrace him. He's a coach now with the San Diego Padres, but they're okay with him now. Same thing with Barry Bonds in San Francisco. And yet, in Chicago, the Cubs distanced themselves away from Sammy Sosa. He's upset because he says, how come there's not a statue for me? He says, I've done all these things in Chicago. So what it is there a chance that the Cubs will ever embrace Sammy Sosa, in your opinion?
Yes. Yes, there will.
What will it take?
I don't know what it'll take, but I think there will because he brought so much attention. Again, the Cubs are beloved by everybody in the nation. Even I get that. You understand that.
I get that.
And he was in a battle with McGuire that brought even more attention to the Cubs, and they realize that. But there are just some holdouts, and when the holdouts are no longer with us to push that issue, then he'll be embraced.
But one of the holdouts is the owner.
Yeah. Well,
Tom Ricketts is one of the guys.
Well,
I think
that's
part of
it
is because he was a bad teammate at the end, and that's when you might remember there was one game where he didn't play, where he left the ballpark.
That could be the hardest part to get over.
That does not endear you to anybody.
All right.
So he's not beloved. And I mentioned Chris Bosio yesterday, the pitching coach for the Detroit Tigers, who was fired over a quote-unquote insensitive comment. Well, I was reading more about that because I heard it from Chris Bosio's statement yesterday. Here's what he says happened. They were in the clubhouse, and somebody asked him about this pitcher who happens to be white, and he referred to him as a monkey.
Right.
And I guess his nickname was Spider Monkey.
That's his name. I heard that this morning, too.
Right. And a clubhouse attendant who's African-American heard that and thought that Bosio was referring to him because, as we know, in the African-American community, they don't want to hear monkey.
Right.
I mean, that goes back to Howard Cosell many years ago. So that's what happened. And Bosio's saying, hey, wait a minute now. I was joking around about this one guy. He says, what is about these insensitive comments? I said one word. I was talking about this pitcher whose nickname, everybody knows it's Spider Monkey. So now he's thinking about legal action against the Tigers.
I would too.
I don't blame him.
So sometimes things are getting out of hand, and that's one of them.
If that's true.
If that's true,
if he's not making that up. Menace are going to be in action tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hot. They've got Caw Valley in, a team that tied them last week. That's the only blemish on their record on the year, 9-0-1. So they're going to play them tonight, 7:30, out at Valley Stadium. Tomorrow night, there's going to be more of an exhibition. A team from Dubuque is coming in. And there's a young lady going to sing the national anthem that we all kind of know.
Oh, yeah?
Her name is Deb.
Oh, yeah.
She's singing the national anthem.
Your wife.
Yep. We have two great singers in our midst. I have Deb, you have Jackie.
Yeah, how about
that?
Jackie is as good as they get, I'll tell you.
No question
Listen
about
to me. Every time at the Barnstormer game, I love that.
Oh, thank you.
So you do a great job. You really do. So head out and check out the Menace because they're tough. And I was talking to I haven't seen them yet this year, but I'll be out there tomorrow night. I guarantee you to support them as well as Deb. Meanwhile, the World Cup goes on. England was beaten by Belgium, but actually got a break because now they're moving into the round of 16, and there are two sides of the bracket, obviously. And the one side has teams like Brazil and Argentina and Uruguay, and those teams have combined to win 10 World Cup titles.
Oh, my goodness.
On the other side, you've got England and some of the other teams, and they've only won 2. So you have a tougher bracket, but England's in that lesser bracket. They're in the bracket, and they're one of the teams that have won. I think Spain is the other one.
Okay.
Because Spain's going to take on Russia. And the World Cup continues on. And then one other guy I want to mention, Jameis Winston, has been suspended for 3 games by the NFL for inappropriate touching of an Uber driver.
Really?
Yep.
Uber driver.
Uber driver. Where here's what apparently happened is that he was in the Uber and he reached over and grabbed a part of her body he should not have done.
Okay.
And he's even admitted it now. He said, "Yeah, I got to stop. I don't use any alcohol anymore. I don't drink alcohol and all stuff like that. But you got to stop making excuses." And this is a guy that you remember he had problems when he was at Florida State, where he was accused of sexually assaulting somebody, and he got off because they said she didn't have enough evidence.
Right.
But at some point, you've got to be held accountable for your own actions. And the wonder now is, will Tampa Bay, and you know what will happen, he'll get suspended for 3 games, and he'll come back, and if they win games, everybody will be happy with him.
Right.
But if they lose, then they'll say, get this guy out of town.
Right.
So, at some point, people don't you think they have to be accountable for their own actions? Stop blaming everything. Well, I was drinking, therefore
Change
it's okay.
what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, stop that.
Okay. And we talked a little bit yesterday about the College World Series.
Oh, yes, that's right. Oregon State won that last night. Remember how they came back the night before? Arkansas didn't really drop a pop fly. They misplayed a foul pop. And it dropped. If they had caught that ball, they would have won the College World Series. They didn't. Oregon State came back, beat them, and then they won last night 5-0. I don't know if you know about this. There's a pitcher with Oregon State, and I think it's named Helmlich or something like that. Anyway, he was accused years ago of sexually abusing a member of his family, like a young kid.
Wow.
And so now there was a debate, like, will Major League Baseball pick him because of? Isn't it a crazy world, guys? We have to worry about that all the time.
Those aren't the headlines we should be talking about when we're talking
You're
sports.
exactly right, but unfortunately we are.
Yeah.
But the bottom line, Oregon State wins.
They won the title. I don't blame the whole team, so I'm not blaming them.
So they win the College World Series.
Congrats. And of course, next weekend we're all excited because the Barnstormers are going to be playing for the championship against Sioux Falls, and I know you'll be there.
Yeah.
You go sing again? You got to sing. You got to sing.
I have no idea. I haven't been told.
You got to sing. We keep winning while you're singing.
That's the good luck charm.
And I'm glad we're playing Sioux Falls because Arizona had already beaten 3 times. It's hard enough. You know how they talk about in sports. It's hard to beat a team 3 times particularly. Really hard to beat a team 4 times in a year. So hopefully they'll take care of Sioux. Well, they will take care of Sioux Falls.
Right. Thank you, Cowman.
You got
Appreciate
it, guys.
man.
Great to
Good
see
job.
you, sir. Thank
got it,
you.
guys.
We will be right back, folks. Cotlar and Company. Don't miss it. Thursdays, 5 to 6, 1350 ESPN Radio right here in Des Moines.